I walked in this space with Aaron a year ago, almost to the day. So 12, 13 months ago, I walked in, signed for lease on the building. I gave it a ring and walked in and was introduced to the Midtown Renaissance group, Bob, Mickey, and Chris.
Midtown Renaissance, as most people know, is made up of Bob Howard, Mickey Clagg, and Chris Fleming, three stand-up guys that I've had the pleasure to work with. We were put in touch with them after Jeff came and walked the space and called the for lease sign. We were put in touch with Chris Fleming, and the rest is history. The guys have been nothing but gentlemen along the way and have treated us with respect and given us not an opportunity, but they've given us kind of a leg up in the district with this space.
So in this space, when you build one of these things, you discover what kind of bones you've got to work with. And this private dining room over here used to be an oil change bay when this was a Buick dealership, for one. And for two, you've kind of got to deal with the support columns and just the broad architecture that you start with. And luckily, we were able to draft down on a piece of paper two-dimensionally what we had envisioned, and Brian Fitzsimmons took it from there. Incredible group and incredible vision, and he made it a reality.
So we were introduced to Brian Fitzsimmons, our architect, pretty much through the Midtown Renaissance group. He's been an asset to Midtown, and after reviewing his projects and reviewing the work that he's done, we decided to join with him to design Broadway 10. His focus, I think, was really residential early on in his career, and he's turned to commercial in the past few years. He's really helped us design this space. His focus is older buildings. As you know, this building was built in the 20s, and I think he's carried through the space with a lot of lines and a lot of architecture that bring forward the 1920s feel, but in a very modern way. So when you start a project like this in a building this old, there are several obstacles to overcome. One being that the space is it's going to turn up secrets that are unexpected. The lights that we designed for this space or the lighting design for this space was very challenging because we wanted to respect the architectural history of the building, yet we wanted to make a dramatic impact on the space. The lights that Brian Fitzsimmons designed are all custom to the space. That's something that we found out. We couldn't just go to a local dealer here and buy lights for this space. It really didn't make sense. So Brian designed the lights, a local company fabricated them, and I think they're one of the key elements to the feel of the space. These lights are very, they're not only for looks, they're actually for show as well, or for use. They spin in a 360 direction, back and forth, and they're just very versatile in what we can do and what we can use them for.
When you've got the bones to work with, and you've got to work around a few certain pieces, such as the stairwell, you've got to decide, well, it's here, and how are we going to use that space? So we thought it would be best used as a wine room on either side, temperature controlled, turned out really nice, and you walk up the grand stairwell to what I feel's a pretty nice place to eat with the view. 25-foot ceilings on this ground floor level of the Buick building, and we incorporated dining upstairs to be able to view down and enjoy the space in its entirety. Upstairs used to be some office spaces in the Buick building, and anytime you can preserve, I think that's the big key, is preserve and pay remembrance to the space that you've got. That's original. The tileway on the landings, 90-year-old mosaic tile and marble. We cleaned it up as best as we could, and we clear coated it several times, and that's a daily remembrance to walk by that thing. And 90 years ago, this was a car dealership.